Wise one, wise one, please tell us story.
Okay, I will tell you a story. Let the night settle, let the fire breathe. Even the moon will listen. For what I am about to tell is not just any tale. No, it is the story of a great and ancient kingdom, long before our footsteps touched this earth. It all began on a day that seemed like any other, when a warrior child was born into a regular business family in a great and powerful kingdom, nothing unusual to the eyes of men. His parents held him as any mother and father would, unaware that destiny had just entered their home, for this was no ordinary child. For 16 seasons, the boy grew under his father's roof, but destiny does not sleep. The spirits of the gods had chosen him. They say he must rise. They say he must walk the path of warriors. The boy felt it in his bones, in the quiet beating of his heart. Sleep left his eyes, peace left his mind, and in that moment he knew his life at home had come to an end, because when the gods call a child, they do not ask. They take him and shape him into legend. From the day his feet learned to stand upon the red earth, he grew not just in body, but in strength and wisdom. His heart knew no fear. Where others trembled, Akin stood firm like the Iroko tree. He believed in himself, deeply, fiercely. The gods watched him, for he was not like the others. He was chosen. Their favor rested upon his head like an unseen crown. Day and night, under the scorching sun and the silent moon, Akin rose in battle. He conquered again and again. His name began to travel from village to village, from ear to ear, spoken with respect and fear, and he became the second in command, a warrior, a leader, a name that would not be forgotten. Akin went from one war to another, yet not one warlord, not one could stand before him, for his strength was not of flesh alone. It was the strength of destiny, the strength of the gods themselves. Those who came against him fell like dry leaves before the wind. The mighty became weak in his presence. The feared became stories of the past, for the journey ahead is far greater than the beginning.
Wise one, what happened to him after the war?
One beautiful evening, when the sun was sinking gently behind the hills and the air carried the smell of dust and sweat from the warrior's ground, Akin rose from his training. His spirit was never one to sit still for long. It was known among the warriors that, when boredom whispered to him, he would wander alone into the wild, seeking bush meat. Not long after, as the shadows grew deeper and the trees stood like watching spirits, Akin saw it, a tiger, calm, powerful, as if it owned the earth beneath its feet. Now, many men would have turned back at such a sight. He was one who must see the end of every path he walks, so he followed. And like a spirit shedding its skin, the tiger began to change. Its strength softened until what stood before Akin was no longer a beast, but a woman of rare beauty, one that could make even the moon jealous. Akin stood still. He looked upon her. Then he spoke, "Follow me home." And the woman agreed. And so the two of them walked away from the forest that day. What followed them was not just footsteps. It was destiny. Children, this will be enough for tonight. We shall continue at the same time tomorrow.
Good night, wise one.
Subscribe to our YouTube channel at Eaton360 Folktale to enjoy the best folktale stories.